A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord, and in our news, the IMF identifies positive growth as one of Barbados' critical objectives. The Prime Minister tells investors Barbados is the ideal base for their global businesses. Social media weighs in on to be or not to be a police officer. And in sports, Kieron Pollard and the Mumbai Indians put Chris Gayle's Kings 11 to the sword in the IPL.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC News Night, starting now.
And in our top story, the International Monetary Fund sees positive growth as being vital for the island. Division Chief in the IMF's Research Department, Oya Chilasoon, says that targets set by the IMF must be met. Ms. Chilasoon's comments came during the question and answer session of the 2019 World Economic Outlook media conference.
For Barbados, we have a IMF program, so the prospects are that activity strengthens somewhat with the build-up of confidence as the program is implemented. It's essential for that to happen, to return to positive growth in 2020, that the targets are met and the reforms are steadily implemented.
And Ms. Chilasoon also provided an assessment for the Caribbean.
For the Caribbean, we always have a diversity. We have more commodity-dependent economies, and we have economies that are less commodity-dependent, more dependent on tourism. This latter group is doing somewhat better. Their prospects are typically tied to advanced economies, so there has been some softening, but generally growth is stronger. The commodity-dependent ones are still in a process of adjusting to the lower commodity prices, some of them oil prices.
Meantime, for the second time this year, the IMF has downgraded the World Economic Outlook for 2019. Chief Economist and Director of the Research Department, Geeta Gopinath, warned of a slowing global economy and urged leaders to be careful in what she called a delicate moment.
Our new World Economic Outlook projects a slowdown in growth in 2019 for 70% of the global economy. Global growth softened to 3.6% in 2018 and is projected to further slow to 3.3% in 2019. The downward revision in growth of 0.2 percentage points for 2019 is also broad-based. It reflects negative revisions for several major economies, including the Euro area, Latin America, the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia.
The Empire Theatre remains an asset government wants to restore. Prime Minister Mia Motley updated Barbadians in the diaspora on the plans for the Bridgetown facility during a town hall meeting in Toronto, Canada.
The last government would have provided a lease to it, and we're trying to encourage them to restore it as a theatre as opposed to some other kind of facility that will not be faithful to its history and its architecture. So, short answer, yes, there is opportunities for you to come and do work in Barbados and to engage the world. That's our message, that Barbados can be a global hub and that you can do all kinds of creative things from there.
Prime Minister Motley also outlined other plans for the island.
We want to do islands, for example, and reclaim peninsulas and islands, but we're not going to add a cent to public debt if we do that, because we're going to create opportunities for our people, whoever win the RFP, to be able to build out within the confines of what the law will provide for.
Well, improvements in environmental conditions at the Supreme Court complex have received the thumbs up from representatives of the National Union of Public Workers and the Bar Association. Operations resumed at the White Park Road complex on Monday after being temporarily relocated to Manor Lodge last year. Registrar of the Supreme Court, Barbara Cook-Alene, says the criminal high courts presently operating from Cane Garden in St. Thomas will relocate by the end of the week to start work officially from Monday. Mrs. Cook-Alene also gave the assurance that a maintenance plan will be in place for the facility going forward. While police are probing the discovery of a British visitor's body in the waters of the jetty in Oistins in Christchurch. Lawmen say it has been identified as that of 23-year-old Benjamin Burgess. Police say Burgess, an engineer aboard a ship, was found around 9:15 this morning submerged in the water along the jetty of the Barinda Cox Market. Officials say that Coast Guard personnel were summoned to recover his body from the water. And anyone who may have information related to this incident is asked to contact the nearest police station. Well, drugs worth an estimated $1.1 million were destroyed today in the incinerator over at the Grantley Adams International Airport. 93 bags of cannabis weighing 232.4 kilograms and 5 bags of cocaine weighing 6.5 kilograms went up in smoke. Police say that they seized the drugs during the course of a single investigation in which 3 people were charged.
What's Trending is brought to you by Trident Insurance. We treat you like family.
And we say good evening now to Lisa Broom, who is in our social media corner.
Hi, good evening, Lisa. So here's what's trending today. The Royal Barbados Police Force is carrying out a recruitment campaign. They want more people to join the force. But as pointed out by St. George North MP Glenn Clark, young people don't seem very interested in a law enforcement career. Now, our Facebook users have been weighing in on some reasons why. So here's what they had to say. Von Yvonne thinks the risks that come with the job should mean a bigger salary for police officers. Similarly, Tara D thinks the salary needs to go up. Tara says if the salary is increased, she might even be tempted to apply. And Pauline Tate goes a different route. She believes it's simply that young Barbadians are more interested in going down a negative line, getting involved with illegal drugs, violence, and generally living unsavory lives. Well, from the look of this cell phone footage taken in New York, it seems the police force over there might be looking for more officers soon. This one was attempting to ride a confiscated dirt bike back to the station, except things didn't quite go as planned. Fortunately, though, it looks like the only serious injury was to that officer's pride. The ban on the importation of plastics went into effect on April 1st, and the ban on its use is quickly approaching on July 1st. Many vendors have already made the switch to the new environmentally friendly alternatives, and there have been some mixed reviews. Some people are just not happy with the products.
So this is somebody's lunch before they even get it. Look at this container. $2 for a container now, right? Look at this. I was repacking the orders for the customers, and all of this tear and split and mash up. So this is what we're paying more money for. I don't have a problem paying more money, but this is the problem, because if I didn't check that, the customer would have get them food like that, and who gets blamed?
Well, here in Barbados, the monkey population has been a thorn in the side of farmers for years. They've been raiding crops and destroying property. But take a look at this footage captured in a South African hospital. Since late last year, monkeys have been entering the facility through open windows, scaring patients and stealing their food. Hospital officials have set up a task force to deal with the monkeys. Well, if you're a fan of the NBA, you should know that Dwayne Wade is retiring. He played his final regular season game for the Miami Heat at home last night. And before taking to the court, he thanked his fans and teammates for their support over the years. Let's take a look.
Y'all not about to make me cry before this game. Real quick, man, I love you guys, man. I'm thankful for this moment. I've enjoyed this season with you guys, man. I got some brothers that will always be my brothers. I love you guys, man. All right? Heat Nation, thank you. Love you guys.
All the best to him. Wade started in the NBA all the way back in 2003. And that's all the time we have for What's Trending this evening. Remember, though, you can find us easily on Facebook, Instagram, and via email. So we'll see you tomorrow. Lisa?
The labor movement in Barbados is under tremendous strain, and the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations is concerned about the increase in bus fares. President Edwin O'Neill says he understands the difficulties facing the state-owned transport board, but workers, especially those at the lower end, cannot continue to bear that burden. He was speaking during a media conference at the association's Garrison headquarters this afternoon.
That translates into hardship. That translates into a reduction in disposable income. And whilst the middle income earners are better placed to absorb such increases, certainly it is going to have a severe and significant impact on the lower income earners.
Meantime, General Secretary of CDUSAP Dennis DePisa says he is concerned with the impact on the delivery of public services following the retrenchment of thousands of government workers. He says many are now performing several additional functions without the adequate compensation.
The fact that the matter of replacements are not forthcoming, the fact that people who are retrenched, who are public officers, who have particular administrative and management skills are placed in the bread line. The suggestion that they will be reabsorbed is nothing short than a myth. Because if there are other jobs that are being created in sectors, let's assume construction, as we heard at one point, are we to understand that these administrators are not going to be turned into carpenters or artisans and things of that nature?
Well, the Barbados Union of Teachers is anticipating a smooth start to the third term next week. President Sean Spencer says there are cases in certain schools where work has started on the school plants, and this will need to be evaluated. He says teachers are facing a number of issues, including health and safety challenges, as well as what he says is public disrespect. But the union head says that those issues are finally getting the attention of the Ministry of Education.
What would have obtained before would have been a matter where you would have sent correspondence would not have been responded to. But at least we're getting responses now, and we're seeing some level of action in that regard.
Now, while the BERT program did not result in the retrenchment of teachers, it has resulted in teaching staff being placed under tremendous pressure. Mr. Spencer says many teachers have retired, some are on sick leave and special leave, and there are no replacements. He says one of the biggest issues coming out of the retrenchment exercise was the sending home of groundsmen, but a solution may be on the horizon.
That has not linked to salubrious environments, and we're finding that in many instances now where the grass would have been cut routinely, it is not being so done. We have, however, been informed that there is a plan afoot where they are going to look to redeploy these groundsmen. And these groundsmen are going to be put into zones where the schools themselves would be serviced. And it has been indicated as well that we are not necessarily going to see them operating during the course of the school day or during the regular working hours as we see them.
The Heart and Stroke Foundation is seeking to intensify its efforts to sensitize Barbadians about the importance of adhering to best practices in their health and wellness. The foundation's newly appointed CEO, Michelle Daniels, says a key part of that effort is to address the issue of childhood obesity head-on, and she made that comment during an interview with CBC News.
Basically, we have one heart and we have to take care of it. So for me, awareness, raising awareness, what is in the public domain is very important. Yes, persons know about the Heart and Stroke Foundation, but I think there's more that can be done in terms of advocacy, so enforcing and influencing policy changes. So we have the whole issue of childhood obesity, and that's something that is very dear to our hearts in terms of, yes, we know that it is a problem, but it's actually reaching the public and helping them to understand that we need to do something, because the children, if we don't take care of them, take care of their health and their hearts, they will not be able to function effectively at school and so on.
Well, speaking of health, we all know the benefits of drinking water. Well, now efforts are underway to get students at the Barbados Community College to drink more of that precious commodity. It's being spearheaded by the Science Society there. Vice President Grace Clausey says Wednesdays have now been designated as a Water Day at the tertiary institution. During the launch, the Society got support from the Barbados Water Authority and local company Glacial Pure.
In addition to free bottles of water being available, there is also a variety of infused waters to try. The bookstores, which is located just down from Science, is also supporting today by selling water 50 cents of a discount of 50 cents on each small, medium, and large Zephyr Hills water bottle. For every day, there are water coolers located in every division for students to be able to refill reusable water bottles. Increasing the amount of water consumed daily while decreasing the amount of other drinks is not only healthier, but less cost.
And sales executive at Glacial Pure, Charles Walcott, says the company looks forward to playing an even more active role in that project.
Give us some feedback over the next couple of weeks as you journey through the Wednesday Water Day. How has it impacted your lifestyle? Are you more alert in the classroom? Is it assisting you to study well at night? Being able to consume more water during the day? So we'd be happy to receive this feedback, and we will continue to play a role in terms of donating water to support your efforts.
Regional news now in St. Lucia. Prime Minister Alan Chastney is standing by his embattled Public Service Minister, Senator Dr. Ubaldus Raymond. That senator has been embroiled in controversy regarding what many people believe to be an inappropriate conversation circulating on social media. It involves a male believed to be Dr. Raymond and a female.
In a stunning revelation on Tuesday, Prime Minister Alan Chastney told reporters outside Parliament that contrary to reports on radio, television, online, and screaming newspaper headlines, Ubaldus Raymond is still a senator, still the head of government business in the Senate, and still the minister responsible for the public service.
There is an investigation, and that's why I would rather not be able to comment on it at this point. Certainly when I have all the facts, I'll be very happy to be able to do that.
Are the news reports regarding his resignation incorrect?
That's not true.
It's not true. So the news reports that he has resigned are incorrect?
Correct.
All of this comes as more and more embarrassing clips of a voice sounding distinctly like that of the embattled ministers circulate on social media, and a revival of his nude photos and texts that surfaced some 2 years ago in his storied tale with the teenage intern.
Several options remain for regional carrier LIAT to get back on a strong footing. Scrapping the airline and starting fresh is one of the possibilities being considered. Now, only Grenada has responded positively to the airline's call for assistance by contributing $1 million. Chairman of the shareholder governments and Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, has painted a bleak outlook for the regional carrier.
3 options were put forward. 1, restructure LIAT, and in this restructuring, everybody has to bear some of the pain of the restructuring. The second option, give it to the private sector completely. Well, that's a non-starter because that's only abstract and theoretical. And thirdly, close the airline down and start afresh.